There's a moment that happens in almost every career, and most people don't realize how important it is until years later. It's not the day you get fired. It's not the day you get promoted. It's smaller than that. It's the moment you stop believing something your manager told you. Maybe they said your raise was coming next quarter. Maybe they said the reorg wouldn't affect your team. Maybe they just said, I've got your back. And when it mattered, they didn't. Nothing dramatic happens on that day. You don't quit. You don't confront anyone. You go back to your desk, you keep working, you even smile in the next meeting. But something has already changed, and you probably didn't notice it happening. You can survive a stressful job, a demanding boss, months of chaos. But one broken promise can undo 2 years of goodwill in a single afternoon. This video is about why that happens. Not the big, obvious betrayals, but the quiet mechanism underneath them. Trust at work isn't really about honesty. It's about prediction. When you trust a coworker, you're not thinking this person is a good, honest human being. You're thinking, without realizing it, I know what this person is going to do next. Trust is your brain's way of forecasting someone's future behavior based on their past behavior. So when a manager shows up on time to every one-on-one for 6 months, your brain isn't logging they're punctual. It's quietly building a model that says this person follows through. That model gets built one small, forgettable action at a time. A promise kept, a deadline honored, credit given where it was due. None of it feels important in the moment, which is exactly why trust takes so long to build. The evidence never feels big enough to notice. Watch what happens the first time the model breaks. Daniel is good at his job, not flashy, just reliable. One week his manager asks him to take on extra work, covering for a teammate who's out, picking up a messy project nobody else wants. Daniel says yes. His manager tells him, this is going to matter at review time. I'll make sure it's recognized. Daniel keeps delivering. Review season comes. Nothing happens. No raise, no mention, just a generic keep up the good work in a 5-minute meeting. Daniel doesn't complain. He doesn't even bring it up. He just stops asking. It's tempting to assume he stopped asking because he stopped caring about his career. That's not what happened. Daniel stopped asking because he stopped believing the answer would be true. That's the moment his internal model of his manager rewrote itself. From this person follows through to this person says things to keep me motivated. The forecast changed, and being nice to him next week doesn't undo it. Trust doesn't usually break because of cruelty. It breaks because of a gap between what someone said and what they did, and the size of that gap barely matters. Even a small, forgettable broken promise can flip the model if it lands at the wrong moment. Think about a coworker who has helped you 50 times, covered a shift, gave you credit publicly, warned you before a tough meeting. Now think about the one time they threw you under the bus in front of your boss. Which memory is sharper? Which one can you replay in more detail? For almost everyone, it's the betrayal. Not because it mattered more overall. 50 good acts should outweigh one bad one on paper, but because the brain doesn't average experiences like a spreadsheet. It weighs them. A trust-breaking event carries more emotional weight than a trust-building one. The same way a predator in the grass matters more to survival than a nice sunset. Work email hasn't caught up to that wiring. So someone can be reliable for 2 straight years, and one 3-minute conversation where they lie to protect themselves can outweigh all of it. Not logically, emotionally. And work relationships run on emotion far more than any leadership seminar admits. Trust was never a fair trade of 50 good moments against one bad one. It was one carefully built forecast against a single piece of evidence that the forecast was wrong. When trust breaks, the manager and the employee are almost never remembering the same event. Say a manager promises a promotion timeline, then has to walk it back because of a budget freeze nobody saw coming. From the manager's side, this is an unfortunate business reality. Circumstances changed, they'll explain it. The employee will understand. From the employee's side, something different happened. They didn't just lose a promotion, they lost a piece of their forecast. The manager who said, I've got you, got replaced overnight by a manager who tells people what they want to hear and deals with the fallout later. The manager's story is about a budget freeze. The employee's story is about who their manager actually is. Those aren't the same story, which is why so many trust repair conversations fail. The manager apologizes for the outcome when the employee needed an apology for the deception in the process. Fixing the wrong problem fixes nothing. Broken trust is rarely about the event itself. It's about what the event revealed. Once the forecast breaks, something starts happening long before anyone hands in a resignation letter. An employee stops raising their hand in meetings, stops sending the, hey, quick thought messages they used to send, stops mentioning ideas for the future, the 6-month plan, the project they wanted to lead next year. Most managers read this as burnout or laziness. Look closer, and it's more specific. They've stopped investing in a future they no longer trust will treat them fairly. Every time someone shares an idea or a concern with a manager, they're taking a small risk, betting it will be handled well. Once trust breaks, that bet stops feeling worth making, so silence becomes the safer move. This is why resignations feel sudden to managers and unsurprising to the person who left. The employee didn't leave the day they quit. They left, quietly, the day it stopped feeling safe to be fully honest. The resignation letter was just paperwork catching up to a decision that had already happened. Trust rarely collapses in one clean moment. More often it erodes through small inconsistencies, too minor to mention individually. A meeting you were supposed to be part of, and weren't. A will circle back that never circles back. A decision announced instead of discussed when you were told you'd have input. Each one is forgettable on its own, easy to excuse, which is exactly what makes the pattern dangerous. Somewhere in the background, the brain is running a tally you're not consciously checking. It's not asking, was this one thing bad? It's asking, does this fit a pattern? Once enough small inconsistencies stack up, they stop being separate incidents and become one long incident with many chapters. That's why an employee can seem to overreact to something small. A canceled coffee chat, a missed shout out. The reaction isn't disproportionate to the event. It's proportionate to everything that came before it. Trust at work was never a feeling of warmth toward a person. It's a working forecast, a bet about what someone will do when it matters. Every kept promise adds a small, quiet piece of confirming evidence. Every broken one doesn't just subtract a piece. It forces the whole forecast to be rebuilt because the old model has just been proven wrong. Building trust means stacking hundreds of small, forgettable proofs. Breaking it means producing one piece of evidence strong enough to overturn the entire model. Repairing trust isn't just doing the opposite, and stacking up good behavior until the model resets. Before trust breaks, people watch each other with relaxed attention. You're not testing your manager every day. You're living inside an assumption that things are fine. After trust breaks, that relaxed attention turns into something closer to surveillance. A manager being 5 minutes late to a meeting used to mean nothing. Afterward, it can feel like confirmation. They don't respect my time either. The same good behavior that used to be invisible now gets picked apart. They're only doing this because they got caught. This is just a phase until things calm down. That's not the employee being unreasonable. It's the broken forecast doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Distrust new evidence until it's proven over a much longer stretch than it took to earn trust the first time. Trust researchers often put repair at 3 to 5 times longer than the original relationship took to build. It's not a punishment, it's math. You're not proving yourself once, you're proving yourself while someone is actively looking for reasons not to believe you, because being wrong about trusting you again would hurt more the second time. People who no longer trust their environment don't usually become dramatic. They become careful. They start writing things down that they never used to write down, just to have it in email. They stop volunteering for extra work, not because they've become lazy, but because extra effort used to be an investment, and investments require trust that there is a future payoff. They do exactly what's required, and nothing that depends on someone else keeping their word. That's the real cost that never shows up on a performance review. Trust-broken employees don't stop working. They stop taking the risks that make teams good, speaking up early about a problem, giving honest feedback, covering for a teammate without being asked. All of that requires believing goodwill gets reciprocated. Once that belief is gone, people don't stop doing their job. They just stop doing anything beyond it. Multiply that across a team, and you get an organization that looks functional on paper and feels hollow to work inside. Somewhere in every broken trust story, there's a specific identifiable point where someone stopped believing what their workplace told them, not just about one manager, but about the workplace as a whole. Where this company says it values work-life balance quietly turns into, this company says whatever keeps people compliant. That moment rarely gets announced. Nobody sends an email saying, "I no longer believe you." It happens privately, often without the person even choosing it. But once it happens, everything the company says afterward gets filtered through it. The new wellness initiative, the town hall about listening to employee feedback, the mission statement on the careers page, none of it lands the way it used to because the forecast that made those words meaningful in the first place is already gone. This is how a company can do everything right on paper. Competitive pay, decent benefits, reasonable hours, and still have employees who feel completely disconnected. The systems are fine. The forecast is broken, and systems can't repair a forecast. Only consistent, proven behavior can, over a long stretch of time, and only if the person is still willing to keep watching for it. Trust takes months or years to build, but can disappear because of one conversation, one broken promise, one unfair decision, because trust was never a reward for good behavior. It was a forecast built from it, a prediction about what someone will do the next time it actually cost them something to do the right thing. Good behavior builds that forecast slowly because each piece of evidence is small. It only takes one clear, undeniable contradiction to prove the forecast was wrong. And once a forecast is proven wrong, the brain doesn't quietly ignore it. It rewrites the model and makes the new version much harder to overwrite a second time. That's why you can survive a demanding job, a difficult season, even a boss you don't particularly like. Stress doesn't touch the forecast, but the moment you can no longer predict that someone will do what they said, the relationship changes, quietly, permanently, whether or not you ever say a word about it out loud. If you've ever wondered why you kept working just as hard after that one conversation, but something inside you never felt the same again, that's why. It was never really about the conversation. It was about everything you quietly decided to stop believing because of it. If this put words to something you felt at work but never explained, that's what this channel is for. Subscribe if you want more of it, and I'll see you in the next one.